The residents of a lonely gulch in inland California bear witness to an uncanny and chilling discovery. What's a bad miracle? I guess we'll find out as Jordan Peele takes us beyond the UFO tropes we know, delivering a creature feature like no other. Are you ready to say yep to nope?
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather.
What's a bad miracle? They got a word for that.
Yeah, nah.
Hello, lovelies. Hope you're got your tin hats on standby. I'm Cam,
And I'm Adam.
and today we are back with one of my all-time favorite subgenres,
Oh, yeah.
alien films.
Alien films and
Yeah.
the horror genre.
We've kind of been on an alien spree. We haven't
I know.
watched any. We've just been talking a lot about them for
Yeah.
some reason. But big alien guys around these parts.
I know, but hey, I'm not complaining.
It's also, it feels like it's been so long
Yeah.
since I've been here. I feel like last time I was here, what was it? I don't even know what month, and now I'm sitting here next to a Christmas tree. So.
The holidays really messed up our schedule.
It really
we obviously had a long break, and then we had our Hot Takes Hallway episode, and we actually watched Nope before our Hot Takes Hallway episode, so it's
Yeah.
been like a month.
It's been a while. Wait, did we film after seeing Nope? I think we did. Like we watched Nope and then we filmed
Hot Takes Hallway. Yep.
filmed our short film.
Wait, you're right.
So that also halted
Oh my
everything. So
gosh.
we've been
yeah. Cooking.
doing elsewhere. That doesn't make sense.
doing elsewhere.
We've been doing elsewhere. But we're glad to be back.
We're back.
I feel like this is going to be a controversial one. I know some people hate this movie.
I just know everything I'm about to say is going to be controversial.
Oh boy. All right, let's freaking do this.
But I don't care. I'm out for blood. I don't care anymore.
Well, we can just jump into the film details.
Let's do it.
Nope comes in as the first film to chip away at the ice of our top 20 films, which is really crazy. We're finally here.
It's also the most recent film we've reviewed.
Is it?
2022.
Oh, heck yeah. All
I
right.
know. So 2 years ago.
It is classified as an alien invasion monster horror,
Mm,
which I just love that.
yeah, that's amazing.
Sounds amazing.
I'm going to name my son that.
It's rated R and directed by the brilliant Jordan Peele, who also directed Get Out and Us, and he has a fourth film on the way.
Which is, what's it called again? I saw the name the other day.
Oh, I don't know. You gotta
I don't
get on
know,
this.
It apparently is supposed to be called Him.
Oh, he really loves those just simple one-word titles.
Yeah.
Us. Nope.
Him.
Him. He's really onto something.
Interesting.
Film was also written by him, stars the wonderfully talented Daniel Kaluuya, the iconic Kiki Palmer, and Brandon Perea, who has become a favorite of mine in recent years. I really like him. He was also in Twisters.
Yeah.
Didn't receive any love at the Academy Awards, which honestly, I know we always talk about this. That blows my mind, especially from like,
A cinematography.
I'll get into
standpoint.
all that
Oh
later,
my-
but that's
yeah.
just insane.
Horror gets snubbed so
Every
bad.
freaking actually, this was controversial recently because the Academy posted something from Maxine as like a meme, and people are like, "You have no right. You can't post anything from a
Yeah.
horror film because you guys actively
We need
ignore."
more people who love horror in the Academy.
Totally.
It's crazy.
The Academy aside, they did have another 43 wins and 180 nominations, so they're fine. But as far as ratings go, it's dicey. It has a rather low 6.8 on IMDb, 3.7 on Letterboxd, and 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's honestly
so we're
pretty
here
low.
to tell you that you're all wrong, as we normally do.
Oh man.
It is estimated that the film cost around $68 million to make, which comes out to roughly $74.8 million today, which is crazy because this was only 2 years ago.
Oh my god.
It grossed $171.2 million worldwide, which is the equivalent of $188.3 million today. And lastly, filming took approximately 5 months, beginning in June of 2021 and wrapping in November that same year. And that's all I got.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was great.
I'm ready to spice it up today.
Oh, I'm so ready.
I've argued with people about this movie so many times.
You know, something's different in the air recently.
Yeah.
I just feel like I just don't care anymore.
You know what word? We don't care.
You know?
That's the title of this episode.
Nope. We don't care.
Nope.
All right. Y'all ready for the film summary? I'm about to summarize this bad boy right up.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this film,
Gosh,
I'm
you're
about
so
to
good
give
at that.
away what happens. So either skip ahead or go watch it.
If it was not for you, I would just spoil everything without any warning.
Hey,
I'm so
we
glad.
have gotten better. We used to
just
spoil
jump in.
everything.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we haven't been berated yet.
But yeah, that's true.
So
We're
we will
learning.
one day.
We're
We're on our
growing.
way, yeah. Okay. Nope. Set against the backdrop of a remote California desert. The film follows siblings OJ, Daniel Kaluuya, and Emerald Haywood, Keke Palmer, who run a struggling family horse ranch that supplies animals for Hollywood productions. Following the mysterious death of their father and a series of bizarre occurrences around their property, the siblings discover an unidentified flying object lurking in the skies above their ranch. Determined to capture Determined to capture definitive proof of the phenomenon, the Haywoods enlist the help of Angel Torres, played by Brandon Perea,
Yeah.
a tech-savvy Fry's Electronics employee, and Antlers Holst, Michael Wincott, a reclusive filmmaker with a penchant for the impossible. As they devise a plan to document the UFO's existence, they unravel its terrifying true nature. A predatory creature, not a spaceship, that devours anything that looks directly at it. It's been a long time since I've struggled that bad to read anything.
You know what? It's a Monday.
And I'm struggling. So there you go.
Hey, still look beautiful. That's all
Don't
that
make me
matters.
come over there.
That's all that matters. It's a Monday.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Well, you guys know the drill. I guess the next
So-
part
yeah.
is the
It's time to
old
dance.
ballroom.
I'm ready to dance.
So this is just where we go through our guidelines for what classifies a good horror film for those of you who have not been here before. Starting with our favorite scenes.
You kick it off.
Well, I know some people hate this.
I don't care.
You know what? Gordy's Home Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Opening the intro.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's kind of like it's the intro and then they go back to it later and show
Mhm.
you everything. Also, the only thing going against it, let me just say, the Planet of the Apes movies, this is like really bothered me. I gotta get this off my chest. Planet of the Apes, they've like worked against the industry because the apes in those movies look so good.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime there's an ape now in another film, I just roast the crap out of it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's just nowhere
it's tough.
close. So Gordy looks a little rough compared to that, but that's the only thing working against it. It's a great scene.
Yeah.
CGI aside, we have this young kid. He's hiding under the table on the set of this old sitcom, and the trained chimp Gordy, he just brutally attacks the rest of the cast and crew. Sound design is incredible. Scene really makes you feel claustrophobic, like you're hiding with him under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've seen the film I think this was my third time watching it. And that scene just always really stands out to me. So,
Yeah. Dude, I think you nailed it. I said the exact same thing. Just the opening scene, even though it was it was very quick the first time we see the introduction to Gordy. But my curiosity is insanely piqued. The audio comes on while the intro studio cards are still happening.
Yeah.
And then boom, the sound design, you already said, is so eerie and mysterious. And then it flashes in and out of the bloody chimp. And I have to tip my hat right away to the sound design of the film because
Dude.
like
I'm going to talk a lot about the sound
Yes.
design because it's so
It
good.
is amazing. So I completely agree. That was also my
We're talking
opening.
to you,
Oh,
Academy.
yeah.
Get it together.
No, Gordy, no! No! Get down! You sick!
My next one kind of jumps a little bit. And there's so many things I do like. I'm just focusing on kind of the big scenes. The Star Lasso experience, the scene lived rent-free in my head for weeks after seeing this film, which is really rare for me.
Yeah.
And that's where the former child star, who's now grown up, the one who was hiding from Gordy, he now runs a Wild West style theme park. And in this scene, he wants to exploit the alien and control it for profit, essentially, and kind of have this big display, the spectacle, which is a big word surrounding this film. But then everything goes wrong when Jean Jacket, the alien, shows up. He descends over the crowd and uses this suction force to pull people up like a vacuum. And then all the helpless people are shown being forced through this orange, slimy tube thing.
Yeah.
And it's so claustrophobic, kind of like the Gordy scene. It just, you feel like you're there. You know that these people know it's their final moments. And it just makes me like so uncomfortable. And I also remember seeing this in theaters for the first time. We saw it together. We had a little group that went.
Yeah.
And like most people, I went in thinking this is going to be like your traditional alien film where there's going to be little, you know, extraterrestrial beings running around and there's like the spaceship and whatever. But when the ship like sucks them up, you're like, oh, they're going to get like, I don't know, tested on or something. But then when you see that, you kind of start to piece together like, oh my gosh, like it's an animal, like it's its own organism.
Yep.
And that was really cool. So
yeah, I completely agree. I mean, just the alien eating everybody was just awesome. The insane shot of everyone being sucked up into its throat is wild. Like you're saying, the sound design of everyone's screams every time the alien gets close is so unsettling. Like they just really played into that. I mean, just hearing people screaming, like a group of people screaming because they're being eaten alive alone is scary. But it's the fact that every time the alien's getting closer or further away, you're hearing that getting closer or further away. And I was like, that is brilliant.
Makes me want to throw up.
Oh, I know.
Terrible.
So I also loved the Star Lasso event.
Now sit back, stay in your seats, and enjoy the Star Lasso experience.
I'm going to back it up just a quick second.
Yeah, that was a big jump.
No, it was a big jump, but I appreciate it. I mean, you kind of already said Gordy's meltdown.
Yeah.
Because I know you paired that with the first one. I said the same thing. It's just so brutal and gnarly. It's just anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
Because it's a freak accident. Stuff like this has happened before, which obviously we have some BTS on that. And then you almost put yourself there. Like, what if this actually happened? Like, what would I be like in this instance?
It feels really real.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I loved actually the first full scene, going back even further, of the quarter falling from the sky into the dad's face.
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, another wild freak accident that so subtly foreshadows what's to come.
I was going to say, subtle foreshadowing, yeah.
And it's just absolutely crazy because you just see Daniel Kaluuya's character, which OJ, So he's just chilling with his dad and, you know, with the horses or whatever. And then his dad just looks up at the sky because things start falling. And then boom, OJ looks back and his dad just like leaning over. And then the horse walks off and his dad falls off the horse. And then it cuts to them in the car. OJ is driving him to the airport. Oh my God. To the hospital. To the airport.
He's going on vacation. That quarter really.
To the hospital. And you just see a glimpse of like his dad bleeding out in the passenger seat. And you're like, what just happened? Like you still don't see what hit him. And then in the x-ray at the hospital, you see a quarter in his face.
It's a great way to open the film.
Oh, man.
And the key word, subtle foreshadowing, because it's like when you watch it, you're like, what the heck? Like, what just happened? But later it makes so much sense when you find out that's just what Jean Jacket kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. And then one more after that was the second time they see the alien, which is this seeing the tornado sucking the decoy horse up, and then it disguising itself in the clouds, and then seeing Haywood hide in the shed, and then him seeing the freaking horse being drawn up into the sky, like through the wood. I just like loved that shot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Agreed. My next one is pretty soon after my last one.
Yep.
The raining blood scene.
Mm-hmm.
I knew we were going to talk about this.
Yep.
First of all, talk about sound design. My goodness.
Yeah.
Here, Jean Jacket, he has just eaten everybody at the theme park, and he comes over to the ranch, hovers over the house, and you kind of feel safe, at least for the protagonists, since they're inside. But then that kind of leaves you suspended, and you're like, wait, so what's his next move? If they're like under the roof, like surely he's not going to like bulldoze his way through there. And then he just basically, well, you can hear all the people screaming above, and it's already raining and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this sound of like, so all the people are screaming, and there's like a sound, almost like the best way to describe it is like when you're squeezing like an orange or like a lemon.
It's being crushed.
And then all of a sudden blood just comes down over the house. So he basically just like crushed them
I'll play the
somehow.
sound.
Oh. Ugh, it's so good. The scene is brilliant for so many reasons.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really the sound design again. And then some of the shots we get, there's a shot in particular of the window, and the blood just kind of slowly comes down, and it just looks so good. And you know what? If you don't like this movie, I hate you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I
But
stand by that.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's a great scene.
I said everything the exact same. The entire sequence,
Yeah.
chef's kiss. The screams of the people, the instant everyone is crushed and the blood begins pouring all over the house. All the items fall all over the place. Then it just drops the decoy horse onto the windshield of his car.
Yeah.
And I was like, this scene is just a masterpiece.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a masterclass in horror and suspense. So, and sound design. That was my last scene.
Okay. This is interesting. I feel like we have stuff to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
I did end up putting, because I was reluctant to go one more. I did go ahead and do it. But then I'm kind of a hypocrite because I have something to say about it later. Anyways, I just said Jean Jacket's demise.
Yeah.
Final scene, Jean Jacket's eventual death when Emerald, Keke Palmer's character, uses the giant inflatable at the theme park to trick Jean Jacket and whatever.
Yeah.
And again, I'll talk more about this later. But I think for me, I watched it back today, and there's just one shot in particular that I just love so much. And it's when Brandon Perea's character, he was like tangled up in the barbed wire, and he like is on his knees, and the sunrise is coming up, and he kind of looks over his shoulder and sees the big inflatable lifting up, and then Jean Jacket like following. Such a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
And so for cinematography alone, I was like, okay, I'm throwing that in there.
Yeah.
And then Jean Jacket's creature design is really interesting. I know that's really controversial, but I had to throw it in there at the very end.
Which I did get some clarity on that design.
Really?
The inspiration behind it, at least. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got.
Okay. Sweet. Well, thank you for that.
Of course. Thank you.
Concept.
Man.
I think it's like such a simple concept,
Yeah.
and Peele knows it.
Yeah.
But his take on the simple concept is honestly just so much fun.
Yes.
And it's also cool that he embedded such a huge motif into the concept, which is obviously exploitation
Yeah.
of the spectacle. And I think that that's freaking huge in Hollywood, especially right now.
Totally.
And I'm going to get some hate for this.
Oh no.
I don't need to bust open this can of worms, but the true crime exploitation
Oh.
is a big controversy right now.
Yeah.
And Marin's going to hate me
Wait, is it like a
because she
thing right
loves
now?
true crime.
Is it like a controversy right now?
I mean, I've just heard people talk about it, and there was a documentary made about it last year
Oh,
that was at
interesting.
festivals about like what is the line of
Honestly,
exploitation.
I will play dumb. I actually haven't heard anything about it, but it is. I could see where there's a story because they do show and give more than we probably should have sometimes. So I could see how that could be a story.
Here's the thing. Okay, this is the only thing I'm going to say about it. All right, and then I'll stop because it could be a whole thing. All right. So I don't really listen to true crime, and I have though before, and
Yeah.
I will listen to it with Marin. And I do think it's like it's important to hear stories for not only like your own safety and to just understand like what's going on in the world, but also like to hear what happened to other people and like their lives, like the things that they had to go through, like so that they aren't forgotten. However, because I know Hollywood and like they capitalize on anything they can,
Yeah.
it just feels like a very big capitalistic move. And you see a ton of podcasters getting paid a crap ton of money talking about deaths and like laughing. And it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
And then you see like freaking Netflix booming off of the Monsters series and like freaking Jeffrey Dahmer and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't care to spend my time, like, I don't know, just like going.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying because
in that direction. So
it does feel like these are the worst things that have ever happened to people. And
people are making
it is
money off of
consumed
it.
very casually.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
Yes, the casual consumption is, I think, what drives me crazy. So.
Okay. Well, reeling it back, I guess, to the concept.
I
think that's actually really interesting. I've never thought about that. I just said Jordan Peele may not be for everybody, but you can guarantee that he's always going to give you something really fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's so innovative in his storytelling techniques, and he's kind of known for like interweaving these, like you said, a larger motif kind of into his stories, which makes it's fun because it's not like annoyingly obvious either. But I would say this film's pretty unique, especially in the choice to make the spaceship the creature itself, and kind of, again, that metaphor on the dangers of spectacle, exploitation, all that. So I think it's pretty unique with a very common trope. So
yeah, I agree.
Which I feel like we've been saying that a lot for films lately, but we have a pattern.
I know. It's like something though about just a simple concept being done really well.
I think that's it. And because horror has been around for so long, like obviously people have to bend at some point. So
yeah, I agree. Director's touch. I mean, come on, it's Jordan freaking Peele.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna like it. But I have an analogy, okay? If Get Out was his show opener and Us is his intermission.
Yeah.
This film is the contract he signed after the show to solidify his claim in horror.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like Get Out, boom, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Us, okay.
I mean, dude.
It's fine.
He came onto the scene with
Get
Out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
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 So he's cooking.
I can't wait to see what he does next.
I know.
He's definitely, which this could be a hot take in itself. I think he's one of the best modern day horror directors.
Mm-hmm.
I think he really shines in this film. If you guys haven't been able to tell, we like this movie. Again, just his ability to tell a story, his visual style, his effectiveness, and like toying with our expectations. And again, that comes from like, you might expect a certain kind of film out of like a UFO movie, but it offers something far more nuanced, and it's just really fun for me. So I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he's like hysterical. Like I grew up watching Key and Peele, like most people did,
which is crazy because they're so freaking funny.
He's hilarious, but he's also able to just captivate you, and that's, I think, so cool.
I agree.
But
well said.
Thank you.
Acting.
I think they're great.
Daniel,
he's amazing.
He's like just one of the best.
Yeah.
Cinematographer's voice.
Yeah. Wow.
It's legendary.
That was crazy.
I think Kiki played her part really well.
Mm-hmm.
I sadly found her character slightly annoying.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I think that's just kind of how she's written. She's kind of like that.
It's not
almost
her
like
fault. Yeah, it's the character.
obnoxious little sister that's just, and in some ways she brings a certain energy because
Yes.
Daniel's character is so dry and reserved. But there are times where you're like, all right, let's get you out of this shot,
Yes. Yeah, I know.
But-
it was the overly playfulness and such a crazy situation that I was like, but
Yeah,
I understand the need for the energy.
totally.
So
Yeah,
I am fine with it.
yeah.
What'd you think about the screenplay?
I think it's great. I love Jordan Peele. There are a handful of lines that really stick out to me. For some reason this time, not for some reason, it's a great line. But the aforementioned, what's a bad miracle? I just love that. Like
Yep.
these very thought-provoking questions.
Yep.
And I thought Peele and his writing really mixed horror, science fiction, and even a little bit of like that Western flair. And I felt like his characters were also done really well. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, thumbs up from this mac and cheese lover.
No, I totally agree. Honestly, there wasn't really a ton of dialogue either.
Oh, really?
There were pockets of it, but
yeah.
and then of course I liked the natural sibling banter between Daniel and Kiki. We haven't had sibling banter since Jeepers Creepers, right?
Dang, that's right. Yeah, it's been a while. That
I
feels
feel like
so
horror
long
movies
ago.
don't really play into siblings
No,
very
they should
often.
do it more often because I do like it. Especially like one of my favorite moments from this film is when like they like give each other like the little
The,
high
like,
fives. Yeah, they're like
yeah.
all excited, and I
Yep.
think that's so fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, no, I think that the "What's a bad miracle" line really stood
so
out.
good,
It's
and the way
so
he
good.
says it, it's a mixture. Like Peele's writing and Daniel's performances are always just so
Stupid.
great.
I know.
But I hope they work together forever.
Yeah, I agree. They probably will.
I
Honestly,
hope so.
Score and soundtrack.
I thought it was pretty good. It's
Yeah.
not going to knock your socks off.
That's literally what I said. It's not necessarily the most iconic score or soundtrack, but it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exact. I said, but it works.
it works.
So there you go.
Now, cinematography though,
It goes
That's
above and beyond.
the freaking kicker.
It's a beautiful film.
It's insane.
Like, I think it's probably one of its most standout features, especially when we've talked about so much like how they shot all those like night shots during the day.
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy to me. And it looks so good. The color palette, like all the blues.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Which even including like a cinematographer as a character, I thought was a really
Mhm.
fun
I like that too.
addition to interject film subtly.
Totally.
There were certain shots that I just adored. I already
Yeah.
brought up the horse being, lifted into the UFO through the wood. Like you don't
Mhm.
see that happen other than like through the wood. And I just like
Yeah.
loved that shot so much. And then of course the shot of everyone in the tube, the shot of the
Gosh.
house getting blood all over it. Which do you know who the cinematographer is?
No. Actually, I didn't look at that.
It is Hoyt van Hoytema,
Okay.
which is the same cinematographer that Nolan uses in all of his films.
Well, there you go.
Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet.
Wow, that's actually
Oppenheimer.
kind of a big deal for Jordan Peele. I mean,
I
I
know.
guess he's built quite a name for himself, but
Yeah.
wow. I mean, you could totally tell because
Yeah.
it's a beautiful film. I mean,
Yes.
debatably, I'm not going to go there yet, but like definitely one of the best looking films on our whole list, I would say. But let me just say too, for
No,
all
go
the
ahead.
people, if
Yeah.
you hate this film, you at least have to give us that. It looks amazing.
There are certain things about this film that I just entirely disagree with everyone that says it's a bad film because of certain aspects.
Yeah.
Like the film as a whole, whatever. There are certain things though I'm like, I have hard evidence as to why it's not a bad film.
Yeah. I
So-
would agree.
Anyway, I did want to call out production design and makeup because, like, holy crap,
Oh, yeah.
Peele's ability to tie in visual elements is one of my favorite things about his directing
Yes.
style.
He's a very visual.
The
person.
inflatable tubes you see at car dealerships as a way to see when the alien was nearby is
Yeah.
just genius.
So cool.
And like using that for like heavy marketing,
Mhm.
so fun.
Well, it goes back to the thing, like, which who knows how true this is, but the whole like the smartest people are often the funniest.
Yeah.
And it just, this in a way kind of proves that because he is so funny.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, but he's like coming up with these great components to these films. And it's like just so impressive to me.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Overall impact.
I think This film is slept on. I remember walking out thinking he knocked it out again. Like I know Us was hit or miss.
Yeah.
I was like, he knocked it out of the park again. It's maybe not as good as Get Out, but it's behind it, for sure.
Yeah.
Like pretty close. And I think I was surprised when I heard from a lot of people that they were like,
I did not like that movie.
Yeah, I did not get it. I didn't like it. I'm like, what is your problem?
Yeah, it really threw me off.
Yeah.
Which some people were really disturbed by the chimp,
Yes.
by Gordy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's a disturbing scene.
I get it, but it's also a horror movie. So like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
But I agree. I sadly don't think this had like a major impact on even probably the genre other than the cinematography aspect.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think Peele's goal was for this film to just blow everyone away.
I think that's kind of one of the coolest parts is I think he just made what he was really wanting to make.
Yep.
And did not really give a rip if everyone was going to, come for him. But
yeah, I agree.
obviously he probably wants it to be successful, his vision, but
All right.
well, I
We
could
ready
use
for
BTS.
for some BTS
I'm
behind the
craving some
scenes
BTS.
fun fact? Okay.
I'm very interested.
I'm going to barrel through these because there's kind of a lot and they're kind of all awesome. So bear with me.
I like that.
First and foremost, something that is terribly mistaken by both of us and most everyone. Nope is not an acronym. The title speaks to the idea of the audience reacting to what they're thinking and feeling in the theater. When you tell people it's a scary movie, a lot of time they say nope.
Wow.
Yes, Jordan Peele came out and said no, it is not an acronym for Not of Planet Earth.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
I know. So I was like, okay.
It just
well,
works both ways.
Okay. Jordan Peele cites King Kong, Jurassic Park, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Signs, and The Wizard of Oz as his influences on the film. He considers these films as examples of addiction to spectacle, a major theme in the film.
Oh, wow. Wizard of Oz. I'm really curious about that one.
Which I was like, I know. Well, spectacle, the Oz doesn't have actual powers. Like,
yeah, I guess so.
But I was like, I thought Jaws was on this list.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it. I was like,
I thought Jaws was kind of a big inspiration, but maybe not.
But anyway,
Interesting.
Jurassic Park. So there you go. The very early clip of a jockey riding a horse, which Emerald claims features her and OJ's ancestor, is a real 1878 animated series of photographs, one of the first moving images ever, which has come to be called Sally Gardner at a Gallop, 1878. Sally Gardner is the name of the horse. The two jockeys were listed as being named C. Marvin and G. Dom. Neither of their identities are known, though they very well could have been black, as Emerald claims. In those days, many jockeys were black, such as 13 of the 15 jockeys racing at the first Kentucky Derby in 1875.
Oh, wow. That's super cool.
So that's really fun.
Tie in a little bit of history.
I know. I love that. Next, Keke Palmer's introductory scene, in which Emerald delivers her energetic and fast-talking monologue about her family history during a safety meeting on the set of a film shoot, took 14 takes to shoot. Jordan Peele described each one as very wildly different.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
I know. It's like 14 takes for that. Okay. Despite being featured prominently, Fry's Electronics closed all of its locations on February 24th, 2021, prior to the film's production. The film shot in the Burbank, California location and recreated the interior. So it was a real store
I've never heard
went
of
out
that.
of business like a year before the production.
Oh, that's sad.
I know. Stephen Yeun's character, Jupe, has a large pair of metal scissors on his desk, which are the same scissors prominently featured in Jordan Peele's previous film, Us.
Nice. Little
Which-
Easter egg.
Easter eggs are fun. Jordan Peele said he wrote the script at a time when we were a little bit worried about the future of cinema. So the first thing I knew is I wanted to create a spectacle. I wanted to create something that the audience would have come to see.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This is the first horror film to be filmed with IMAX cameras ever.
Amazing.
Yeah. Which, of course, with that cinematographer, he's going to want that.
checks out.
Emerald and OJ respectively wear green and orange clothes.
That's fantastic.
I know. I was like, that's fun. All right, you guys can skip ahead, whoever is not a filmmaking nerd, because what I'm about to say is very technical about the camera rig
Let's do it.
that the cinematography used. Most of the night sequences, specifically those shot out in the Haywoods field, were actually shot in the day with a complex rig built by cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytema. These scenes were shot with the normal 5-perf 70mm Panavision film camera and a digital ARRI Alexa 65 camera, modified with the IR filter removed from the sensor to make it sensitive to infrared light, rigged up in a 3D camera rig so they were set to take the same image at once, similar to how Van Hoytema shot the lunar chase sequence in Ad Astra 2019. These two images were then composited together to give the night sequences their unique look. In fact, most of these sequences are opened up for IMAX, but were actually shot in normal 5-perf 70mm film in a 2:21 aspect ratio, and were digitally expanded upon in post. This was done for two reasons. One, there is currently no digital camera whose sensor is as big as IMAX film, so the two cameras wouldn't match up perfectly. And two, the skies were already going to be completely digitally replaced for the effects sequences. That information would have been useless to the filmmakers anyway. So he just he completely made a new invention for this film.
That's so innovative.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Insane.
What a guy.
I'm like, that's just so fun.
Imagine being him. You know, and you show up and get to see the final, product.
You're like, I
on the
made
big
this
screen.
work. I made this happen. And now it's going to be adopted. Like,
that's so cool.
What a cool invention. Okay, moving on. When Ricky states that in 1 hour you will leave here witnessing a spectacle, there is exactly 1 hour until the film's end credits.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Which is fun. While Jordan Peele did not explain the significance of the deadly chimpanzee attack witnessed by Jupe as a child, according to an analysis published by Variety, it is meant to show that you can't tame a predator, and mankind will risk everything for spectacle. Jupe exploited the Gordy's Home massacre for profit and similarly thought he could tame the creature for a show business opportunity. Jupe's survival of the chimpanzee attack gave him the mistaken impression he could tame an alpha predator, who are often unpredictable.
Oh, dang.
So
okay.
I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, the chimpanzee Gordy is set off by a balloon popping on the television set. At the end of the movie, the creature, dubbed Jean Jacket, is blown up by a balloon of Jupe popping.
What in the world?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Full circle. When Jupe is first describing the Gordy attack, he tells OJ and Emerald that it lasted 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Later, when doing the show at the Star Lasso Experience, he said he first saw the alien 6 months ago at 6:13 p.m.
Okay.
Fun little Easter egg.
Yep.
You can actually visit Jupiter's Claim. If you watched Nope and thought, man, I really want to spend a day at Jupiter's Claim, you can. Universal Studios reconstructed the park as part of its studio tour on the Hollywood backlot.
That kills me.
I know.
I want to go.
We will.
That'd be so cool. We will.
Jordan Peele and his team consulted with bona fide jellyfish expert Professor John Dabbery about the design of Jean Jacket.
Oh, that is
It was
cool.
inspired by a jellyfish.
I could totally see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. The tragic story of Gordy the chimp mirrors a real incident. If Gordy's rampage on the set of Gordy's Home seemed familiar, it's because something very similar happened in 2009 when a chimp named Travis attacked a woman and left her severely disfigured. Travis had been taken from his mother when he was a baby and sold to Sandra and Jerome Harold, a couple in Connecticut, who raised him to wear clothes and eat meals at the dining table with them. Like the fictional Gordy, Travis appeared in TV shows and commercials. In February of 2009, Travis mauled Charla Nash, a friend of Sandra Harold's. Police, after responding to a 911 call from Harold, shot and ultimately killed Travis, who was still enraged and attempted to enter a police car when they arrived. Nash survived and over the next 3 days spent over 7 hours in surgery to treat the injuries to her face and hands.
Mm. Have you seen her, like pictures?
Mm-hmm.
It's so brutal.
It's, very sad. And then lastly, Angel was supposed to die.
What?
UFO expert, conspiracy theorist Angel managed to make it through a Jean Jacket attack by the skin of his teeth, but that wasn't always the case. Brandon Perea, who plays Angel, told Sci-Fi that his character was set to die in not only the first draft of the script, but the second draft as well. Jordan was definitely in a mode of let's wreck these people, Perea said. And I'm like, no, man, don't wreck me though. Then I talked to some of the studio heads and they were like, there's no way we could kill Angel, man. We need Angel.
That's great.
So
I'm
that's
glad he
fun.
stayed alive.
Yeah.
That would have been really sad.
So anyway, there you go. A lot
Dang.
of BTS. On that
Wow,
one.
there was a lot, which Again, Jordan Peele, you're always going to get a lot of BTS there.
Yeah.
He loves his little Easter eggs and,
I know.
nods. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay. Well, on to the Mishap Mountain.
Mishap Mountain.
Do you have anything crazy? I guess you just talked for a while. I'll give you a break.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I found 3. First, after the horse Clover is found wandering out in the field, the character OJ begins to escort the horse back to its home. But once they start walking, the horse's mane changes colors between black and white, indicating 2 different horses were used.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
It's, like all the other ones, it's pretty
I know.
minuscule. But my next one, Emerald claims to have gotten the phone number for Antler's host from the call sheet. But in any professional production, the call sheet does not include contact information for the top creatives, such as the director or cinematographer. It would only have contact numbers for the production crew, such as unit managers, location managers, and assistant directors.
Checks out.
And lastly, Emerald releases the lashings holding the blow-up cowboy that the unidentified creature attacks while she takes photos from the well. The cowboy floats straight up, indicating helium or hot air, neither of which would be likely filling the cowboy. The most she could expect would be the breeze dragging the heavy inflatable along the floor.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty okay.
It's like one of those things that's like Jordan Peele's like, yes, I know.
Yeah. It's,
Like,
you
who
know what?
cares?
Just go with it.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
That's what I'm here for. Pick you up when you're out of breath.
All right. We're into the change chamber, starting with things that we think don't make any freaking sense.
Yeah.
I have a few things.
Okay. Start us off.
Okay. This apparently, and you already kind of said this, but this apparently world-renowned cinematographer is willing to hear out some rando about a project she wants him to shoot for no money.
Yeah.
That sounds insane.
Yeah. I thought that. I was like, it would be so hard to get a hold of that guy and to get him on like our time. There's no way.
She's like, we have this idea. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm listening. I'm like,
I'm
okay.
in.
Right.
Yeah. My first one, and I saw other people talk about this, so it's not completely original, but the whole crowd of people getting swallowed, it works. And I've talked about why it works.
Yeah.
The only piece of that puzzle that does not fit, though, is how no police or other government officials ever show up to investigate. Instead, a TMZ reporter shows up on his motorcycle during the film's climax. It's just hard to imagine, so many people vanishing would not be, cause for concern. But yeah, it's just very kind of brushed under. You're like, okay, well, 30 people just died, but here's a TMZ reporter.
I said the exact same thing. If they've been doing this for 6 months,
Yeah.
there's no way it hasn't hit the internet yet and isn't the hottest commodity in the world with government interference and everything.
It was 6 months.
They said 6 months.
That makes it even worse. I
Yes.
didn't know that. I thought it was like a few days.
I was hoping
Oh my
whenever we went
God.
back into watching it, I was like, surely this is the first time he's ever trying this with the
Yeah.
crowd. No, apparently he's been doing it for 6 months.
Oh, that is rough. That's a fluke for sure. Dang.
Yeah.
All right, we found the kryptonite.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. What was your next one?
I just said it's at the end with the way she gets that final image, and it's just all
Yeah.
too convenient. They use this camera of this like fake water well where like guests of the theme park can crank it and it like faces up towards the sky and it like takes a picture of them, and the balloon just perfectly, first of all, floats straight up above it, and then she times it just right so that like as soon as it goes off, you get Jean Jacket attacking the balloon. It's just
Mhm.
way too easy. Maybe I'm just jealous because there's like a 0.2% chance I'd be able to pull that off, but it just felt like, okay, you got lucky there.
No, it was definitely, to me, it felt like for the shot
Yeah.
/ for the climax.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have some hot takes about
Yeah.
that. But I agree. Okay. I have a few small ones, but they're like pretty big to me.
Let's do it.
How on earth would he be able to guess, he as in OJ,
Okay.
be able to guess it's not a spacecraft, but some sort of beast, like 10 minutes after knowing it even exists? You already know everyone on Earth would think it's a freaking spacecraft until they're sucked up into its throat.
Yeah, that's a great point.
There's no way you would know.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of it as an animal. at
Even
all.
when it changes at the end, I'd be like, how is this spacecraft
Yeah,
changing?
it's a spectacle. Yeah, I would have no idea.
That doesn't make any
That's
sense.
a great
to me.
point. I didn't
He's
catch
like,
that.
I think it's an animal. Like, what gave you
It's a
that
predator.
insight?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? Do you have any more?
Nope.
Okay. He said the cloud, he has an OJ,
Okay.
has been there for the last 6 months.
Okay.
But he's only seen it twice. And the second time he saw it just chilling in the broad moonlight. So I don't understand that at all.
Okay.
He's like, that cloud hasn't moved in 6 months.
Yeah. I guess he taking
I'm just like, what are you talking about?
taking notes on the cloud formation.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
And then my last one, the cinematographer just happened to know everything about this alien without being on that ranch longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like talking about it like he knows who its family is.
Kind of and this goes, I guess, into actor's performance. Maybe it's not his performance, but like his character was a little too over the top for me. His voice, don't get me wrong. I wish I had his voice. Probably wouldn't fit my body, but it just like, I get that he's written to be kind of this calloused old timer, but he just felt like too rugged. You know, like they're trying too hard to show you how like tough and cynical he is.
I know. It just felt a little forced, but that's fine. It's fine.
Those are good points, though.
Anything we'd change about the film?
This is where it's going to get interesting.
Yeah.
My first one's easy. I'll just throw this out there. I don't love, this film loves to cut away when things get really tense. I noticed that on this viewing, and it happens a handful of times. Like it just like starts to feel a little bit lazy. Like as soon as things pick up, it just like cuts to black and then completely transitions. And it's like, I think just removing one or two of those and like fleshing out those action sequences a little bit more would have helped. Because I get it's an effective method, like especially when someone gets knocked out. That's like a classic.
Yeah.
So like when he gets knocked out, he visits the theme park and then Jean Jacket comes in and like he gets knocked out against like the wood or something and cuts to black. But there are other instances where I feel like just fleshing it a little more could have been better.
And there's a director that comes to the top of my mind that does the opposite.
Who?
Ari Aster
Oh yeah.
sits in a scene
He will let you sit there and
and
cringe.
you are crying to get out of
Yeah.
that scene. And
Yeah.
that's an effective form of horror
He
storytelling.
keeps it steady and it sucks sometimes.
It sucks
I immediately
so
think of like
bad.
Hereditary. I'm like, get
Yeah.
me out of this moment.
Yes, I want to move on.
Yeah,
I'm tired and I'm scared
totally.
and I want to go.
I'm shaking in my boots here.
Okay. I think they show the alien spacecraft a little too much,
Yeah.
too fast.
Yeah.
I'd wait even longer to show the full alien craft. Just like really pique our interest. And a good example of this is both Jurassic Park and
Yes.
Jaws. They both do a superb job at waiting to
perfect,
show
yeah.
you the full scale of this.
Yes.
Even the scene in Jurassic Park, which he said Jurassic Park was one of his inspirations,
Yeah.
where the Tyrannosaurus Rex
It's like the best.
breaks out with the
Yeah.
water and everything. It takes a while though. They sit in that scene for
It's
a
a slow
long
burn
time.
for sure. And then
And-
when you see it, it kind of makes it that much more satiable because it's just like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
he's there now.
It's like, yeah. And then it roars for the first time and you're like, this is just insane.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills.
I
Top
know.
4 movie.
We got to
for me.
rewatch ASAP.
My next one, I almost put this in my hot takes hallway. We're in the hot takes hallway, I guess. No,
Oh.
we're in the change chamber.
No,
we're in the
change
change chamber. Okay, yeah. I almost put it under my hot takes, but it's just like a tiny little rant. So, like I said, I love alien films. I think we both do at this
Yeah.
point. So, while I do love and appreciate the misdirection from Peele, with the ship being the alien itself,
Yes.
I'm just going to be that guy.
Okay.
I still think having traditional humanoid extraterrestrial aliens would have been better, which is crazy because I know a lot of the best things come from it being the alien itself. But here's why. Let me make my little case.
Okay.
First, in a film like Signs, I love seeing the relationship between humans and aliens. And like, there's this like sense of fear and tension from not knowing their motives, like of these intelligent beings. So I think it would have heightened the tension a little bit. And we kind of get that
Yeah.
when he goes out to the barn because he hears the sounds and you see the little, but it ends up just being like kids trying to like pull a prank.
Mhm.
But there's so much potential because it's so creepy. And I just love aliens in that way, like the way they are so intelligent, but we just don't understand them at all.
Yeah.
But here's where it's really interesting. I still would have kept Jean Jacket as a part of the film, just show him way less.
Mhm.
I think it would have provided a more layered threat with these intelligent beings coordinating while their biological ship hunts from above. Like, I think that would have been really interesting to see. But like,
Yeah.
dissect it slowly, because I think Peele with an alien film, I wanted to see those. I don't know, it's like so popcorn audience of me to say that.
No, but I want to
would
see
have
his
loved to
his
see little aliens.
character, his creature design,
Mm-hmm.
his take on
And doing
what
it
an alien
subtly,
looks
because
like.
he can be a very subtle director, and I think
Yeah.
just seeing aliens quietly or from a distance, like
Dude,
that would have been so cool.
Imagine we only see their hand or
Yeah.
something whenever the people
I mean,
are
even
sucked
things like
up.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just little things just show me that there's something else there. But
Yeah.
I still love Jean Jacket. I think it's really like, again, I love and appreciate the misdirection. I think it's really interesting, and it like
Mhm.
definitely threw me through a loop. But later to this day, I still think it would have been like, it just would have been so cool to see that. But I still love the film,
Yeah.
obviously.
Well, you know what alien film does that? I don't want to eat my words. Alien film that does that somewhat well, just from a layered perspective, not from like an actual like creature design or whatever. War of the Worlds.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So I thought that
Which
was,
we're
yeah.
rewatching soon, and I cannot wait.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
because
excited.
my wife hasn't seen it.
Yeah, it's not on our list. That's not why we're
No, yeah,
watching
whoa,
it.
yeah.
It is
Hey,
just so you
whoa.
guys, just so you guys know.
Clarification.
But yeah, that's an interesting take. I'll have to
Yeah.
think more about that. But
Yeah.
I agree. I think that I was anticipating seeing his creature design.
I think too, like as a kid, my last little point to this is like, and I love Signs, but like when Joaquin Phoenix is watching the tape from like Brazil,
Yeah.
the birthday party, like seeing the alien like that, it just like is so creepy. And
Yeah.
I think it just would have made it creepier. It would have upped the tension a little bit, but
Yeah.
just subtle little humanoids down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next one, the whole "don't look in the eyes and you live" thing, just felt like a choice.
Yeah,
You know, I guess that plays off the whole spectacle thing.
it does. But
it just felt
it
way
doesn't-
too freaking easy.
I agree. It kind of falls flat because like it's such a big creature. I mean, how can he
Like,
really tell from that distance? and
Imagine
size?
this. They're at the end of Jaws and they're like, "We found its weakness. Just don't look Jaws in the eye."
Yeah. Like it just needs to be a predator.
That
Like,
was
that's
just
what
yeah,
it
just
is.
make it a predator. Who cares?
Yeah, I
That was
agree.
annoying. Do you have any more?
Nope.
I have one more. I love the shot of everyone being sucked up into the throat so much that I almost wanted to see how they died
Yeah.
at the top, which
Yeah.
obviously we heard it. And I'm a big fan of the imagination running wild and, not showing
Peele is
everything.
too.
So
he's big on using your imagination.
yes,
But
which I appreciated even more because of that. But I was like, man, my curiosity so
I know.
peaked. But this kind of plays off of your like, if there was another level,
yeah.
then we could even get another step further into that like unknown territory.
Yeah. Totally.
But anyway, that's
Good
all I
call.
got.
Good call. Good call.
Casting.
I said I really love it as is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And he's just utilized such effective actors in previous works. Like I think he always just knows exactly what he's looking for out of his performances. And Daniel, obviously being in two of them, he's one of the standouts. But like Lupita, even in Us, like she did a great job. And
Yep.
I think he's big. Just and this may not be true, but I feel like he's big on like eyes. Because Daniel and Lupita both have these like really expressive eyes,
Mhm.
and that like really shines through in all of his films. But
Yeah.
I think the cast here is really great.
I agree. Just for fun, I'd like to see Daniel and Kiki switch places with Justin Long and Gina Phillips for Jeepers Creepers.
That would have been fun.
Just for fun.
switch it up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get a Jeepers Creepers with them in there.
Least favorite part of the film.
Okay. This is going to sound bad because I should not be saying this for a film that is breaching our top 20.
Hey,
But
yeah.
I do think the third act feels a little deflated.
Dude,
No
I said
pun
the
intended.
exact freaking same thing.
Yeah. I think I was so into everything being established in acts 1 and 2
Yeah.
that the end, it just doesn't scratch that itch like you
Mm-mm.
want it to.
Mm-mm.
It just feels like it lacks that climactic tension
Yep.
that would have helped it stick the landing.
Yes.
But wow,
Yeah.
look at us.
I know. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, obviously, that's a huge statement to make. Like, we didn't like a third of the film.
I know.
that
It's
much,
a crazy thing to say, but
but we have reasons why.
yeah, it could have just come off a little. I don't know.
Title of the film and the movie poster.
I love the poster. Like with the
Dude.
horse levitating against that night sky.
The poster
backdrop.
freaking rocks, dude.
Oh, and all the coins and keys floating nearby
Yes.
at the bottom. It
The-
like alludes to the plot for people who have seen the film, and then
Yeah.
it builds intrigue for those who like haven't. So I think it's great.
The cowboy aesthetic mixed with space will just like never miss.
It's so cool. Yeah.
And you throw a little alien in there and I'm yours, baby.
Yeah, let's do it. The title, I think it works. You know, it's like you were saying, I guess it's a very reactionary word used by audiences during horror films. I do like the poster more than the title.
Yes. I think the poster blows the title out of the water.
Yeah, the title, there just could have been something else there, but I get that he loves those simple, you know,
Yeah.
pack a punch titles. But this one, I don't know.
Which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the simple
You should have
titles.
called it Jean Jacket.
I think I might have liked it more.
That would have been interesting.
I just think, you know, I'm more of a unique title. Like I like
Yeah.
a unique title. Like
Maybe
I
that's
see a
it.
title.
It's very
and-
bland.
Yes, it's so
Yeah.
bland. Like I want to see a title and be like, oh, what am I about to
Yeah.
watch?
Yeah, that's a
I
good
see
point.
Nope. I'm like, okay.
You know who's great at coming up with like really interesting titles that like kind of captivate you before you even watch the film? There's this guy, Adam Ragsdale. You are great with titles, truly. I'm going to shout out
You
my boy
flatter
here.
me. It's
You
very
really are.
flattering. Thank you. All right, it's time for hot takes. Oh, wait.
We just ran out of storage, so we have to run it back.
Oh, we're running it back. That's
Hey.
great. Okay, starting with our favorite reviews in our hot takes hallway and our 10 stars. So, Ken, you
All
want to
right.
go first?
Sure. My first 10 star comes from Tren, who says, the 20-second clip of the crowd screaming in agonizing pain as they suffocate will haunt me for the rest of my life. And I think that's pretty fair.
So fair. All right, my first one is called The Screaming. Oh God, The Screaming. The audience screaming while they're being digested is just terrifying. Seeing them go up, hearing them cry for help, wow, I'm surprised this didn't get bigger ratings. Super interesting and funny how people I thought would be a big part of the movie are only in the movie for a second before they're devoured. I like how the creature was trying to mesmerize what it was trying to eat. I also like how the creature changes shape. This is one of my new favorite sci-fi movies. The acting was amazing. I feel bad for Gordy the chimp. I wonder what happened to him after the balloon set him off. I also wonder why the creature chose the farm as its territory.
Yeah, all good points.
Yep.
Justice for Gordy.
Justice for hashtag justice for Gordy.
My next one comes from Sarah, who says, can't believe that Wishing Well takes such beautiful VSCO pictures. I thought that was clever enough to get on here.
Oh yeah. My second one's from Haley on Letterboxd. Where do I get one and how much would it cost to own one? And I don't know if she's talking about
Gordy or
Gordy
Jean
or a
Jacket?
jean jacket.
You want neither, I would assume.
Yeah, no thank you.
My last one on the 10-star reviews comes from Cinema Joe, who says, Nope is my love language, a behemoth film where Peele truly flexes his muscles as an odor. While it certainly pays tribute to early Spielberg, it has the signature biting commentary that we've grown so accustomed to in his work. While at times the commentary may take a backseat to the spectacle, it remains ever present. The irony of a movie discussing our dangerous obsession with the spectacular is that Nope itself is a spectacle, one that had every ounce of my attention. Maybe the most surprising aspect, for me at least, was how genuinely terrifying it felt. It injected fear deep into my soul, which was only amplified by the booming and eerie score reminiscent of Signs, and a cast that truly never misses a beat. What Jaws was for 1975 and the 70s is what it feels like Nope can be for 2022 and the rest of the 2020s. A film that simultaneously defines the genre while also reinventing it. Very high praises from Cinema
Very,
Joe.
very high praises.
Yeah.
Somebody who cares a lot.
Yeah, his name's Cinema Joe for a reason.
Cinema Joe. Thanks, Cinema Joe. All right, my last one. If you were to combine The Godfather and Shawshank Redemption, they would not make a movie nearly as good as this one. I'm just kidding. I made that up.
I was like, you did not say that our first time. That's crazy. Okay, new hottest take ever.
Just two of the biggest movies of all time.
My face. I was wow.
Oh, man. Okay, sorry.
You got me there.
Yeah. My review says, this is great. I loved this movie. I loved the themes of spectacle and exploitation. We tend to exploit tragedy too much in our culture. I think that the message will go over people's heads, but I love it.
Yeah, totally. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 star.
1 stars. My first one comes from Greg's Rivera, who says, folks, here's the tea, and y'all need to sit down and listen. Jordan Peele is overrated, but you guys are not ready to hear that yet, which
Greg.
I'll have some comments on in a second.
Freaking Greg.
Freaking Greg.
All right. My first one, Dude, Save Your Money. It was painfully boring. The joy I got from having to sit through a film that seemed like it was comprised of all the clippings from the cutting room floor was only complete because my husband and I could laugh about our shared agony. Felt like this film tried to be a Tarantino, but ended up the baby of an M. Night Shyamalan and a creature feature about a giant flying tampon.
It's crazy.
So there you go.
All right. My last one comes from NickFlix87, who says, Nope was a complete waste of time and energy for me. A film that takes itself far too serious with completely vapid characters that aren't engaging at all and a very underwhelming, tedious script that was quite frankly boring. I'm still perplexed as to why Jordan Peele gets the recognition he doesn't deserve, in my opinion, from movie lovers, as he's still riding on the coattails of his first success, Get Out. Nope is easily forgettable. I found it completely pretentious in trying to build some sort of mystique around this alien race that we don't see until the final curtain call. The end didn't justify the means, which is what I've come to expect now from Peele's movies. Jordan Peele, for me, is still a one-hit wonder, trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle.
That is just wrong.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, but
Wow.
it's all subjective, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine, except not.
You're
My next
stupid.
one's from Gregorin. For a similar story that's more enjoyable, check out Chicken Little,
That's foul.
which is just insane.
That is crazy.
Did you have any more?
No, that's
okay,
it.
I only have one more.
Okay.
This movie is a big nope. Most boring movie ever. I actually fell asleep at the movie theater and someone who worked there had to wake me up and tell me to leave. True story. Jordan Peele has had some great films, but this should be forgotten. Awful.
Wow.
This
All
should be
right.
forgotten. It's pretty insane.
That is crazy. Yeah, there's people out there who love it. Come on.
Okay, enough of those takes. It's time for ours.
My first one could be crazy for a lot of people. The digestion scene is in my top 10 scariest horror scenes. I'm not saying objectively of all time. Like, if you wanted that list, I could draft one for you.
Mm.
But as someone who doesn't get very uncomfortable or freaked out while watching horror films, that one just got me because A, I get very claustrophobic, and B, the idea of knowing that I'm about to die has always really freaked me out. And
Yeah.
so putting myself in their shoes and just seeing everybody screaming and getting squeezed through that tube was just really, not
Yeah,
for
just
me.
like a little toothpaste.
I thought about it for a while. So it's in my list. Little toothpaste. Yeah, I don't want to be toothpaste.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I don't think that's that hot of a hot take because I
Okay.
agree with that. My first one, the entire third act is by far the worst part of the film. The alien's true form was just like not scary at all. The second act of the film with Gordy is the best part of the film.
Yeah, I would agree.
So
The creature's design at the end is just not as scary as you want it to be.
well, that and it just I gotta agree with people that it drags a little
Yeah.
at the end. You
Too
know,
long.
it just yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I said, gosh, ever since Adam told me I do this little click thing before I talk, now I know, and it's only when I'm sitting on this couch. I don't notice it in daily conversations, but
Hey, it's okay.
you guys get to hear my little. I think Daniel is a highly underrated actor. I think he uses his eyes more effectively than most modern day actors. And if we look at his performance in Get Out and here and Nope, I think that's profoundly evident.
Yep.
He's so talented.
He deserves to be nominated.
Yep.
He'll get it one day.
Yep.
My last one. This is, I thought, one of my spicier takes, but I believe this is the top 10 alien films of all time.
Yep.
And while it's not a perfect film, it still delivers on its motif. The visuals are stunning, the blood house is gnarly, and the screaming being eaten alive scene is just horror magic.
Yeah.
But Cameron was with me whenever we saw this for the first time, and I did have a pretty wild statement that I said, give me some time, I need to figure it out.
And you've had time.
I have had time.
You've thought
Okay,
about
I've had
it.
2 years and we rewatched it.
Yeah.
I had said this might be better than Signs after I first watched it, but I think I was just trying to throw some hotness out there.
Yeah.
Some hotness
That's a
every
great
day.
film. Like, I think an argument, which I'd have to sit and think about it actually before I say it. I was like, maybe even top 5, but I don't know. That's getting crazy.
Dude, you know, I almost said top 5,
Because
but then I was thinking
when you sit and think about how many alien films there are,
that aren't just like horror alone.
Yeah.
Top 5 horror for sure, but
I still need to, we were talking about this in the last take. I still need to see Arrival because that's like one everyone praises.
Yeah.
And I need to watch that soon.
And
Signs is my number 1.
Nick, if you're listening to this, Nick Fleece,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still your favorite, but yes.
We've had multiple people in the last month tell me that it's their favorite film ever. Like,
Yeah.
not just horror, like ever. So
Yeah,
I've gotta watch it.
It's a freaking amazing film. Yeah,
excited.
Nick got me to watch it in college, actually. So,
Really?
Yeah, so good. Yeah. So it's not better than Signs. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. We could take that.
Hottest of all hot takes.
I think it's just Jordan Peele being an overrated director. And like I said in our last recording of this before we ran out of space, now I don't think he's made anything as good as Get Out in 2017.
Yep.
But he did come onto the scene with such a banger that he just set the bar for himself in a way.
I know.
And Us is definitely his weakest film, but I think Nope is still an incredible film, and I'm obviously so excited to see what he does with the fourth film. I think he's so talented.
You know what director I think, other than maybe one film of his, has just like really every film he's made, I think he's outdone himself, and he started with a bang? Damien Chazelle.
Oh, yeah. Oh my
started with
gosh.
Whiplash, which is a
Yeah.
bang. And then he does First Man, which I was
Yeah.
like, or did he do La La Land and then First Man? I think he did La La Land.
It
and then
might have
First
been
Man.
La La Land first.
So he did La La Land second after Whiplash, and I was like, oh my gosh, favorite
Yeah.
film.
He's unbelievable.
And then First Man, which was good.
talk about underrated.
Dude.
No one talks about him enough.
No.
Like La La Land and Babylon and Whiplash. And yes, Babylon, that could be a hot take.
I posted about Babylon the other day.
Ugh.
I've just decided I don't freaking care
Yeah.
what anybody thinks. Babylon is a masterpiece.
It's in my top 20 on Letterboxd.
It has just made its way. It might be my top 10. I didn't know if we
It's a crazy good film.
dude.
And
And the more I think about it, I'm like, it deserves to be moved up.
I've only seen it that one time, but I really want to watch it again.
If you think it's a bad film, then I just objectively don't care
Yeah, it's crazy.
what you have to say.
It's crazy.
Okay, moving on. Do we agree with the IMDb rating of 6.8 out of 10?
No.
No.
I think, again, going back to what I said earlier, if you just, maybe you didn't like the story or the way things were done, but like just take the cinematography and the sound design and uniqueness alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I think, at least bare minimum, I will give you the freedom to say maybe 7.2, but I think there are so many things going for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring it up even more.
9.8.
9.8. I'm bringing it up to 7.6.
Dang.
A whole 0.8. And
Yeah.
here's why, because I don't freaking care anymore. And it's for my favorite scenes alone.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if the film had a stronger third act that I actually enjoyed, I would bring it up to
Yeah.
an 8.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much I think
Okay,
it's that
I'm
good
not
of a
just
film.
trying to follow you. I was saying general audiences.
Yeah.
I will accept you saying a 7.2. I will not accept anything under that. For me
Yeah.
personally, I'm with you. I think 7.5, 7.6 territory.
Yeah,
And yeah, if you execute that third act, it is up there.
it's up there.
So
I mean, it's cruising.
I'm with you.
So the best scenes alone
Yeah.
carry it. And then the sound design, cinematography, you already said that. So
Yeah. It's a
totally
great
agree.
film.
What is the chill factor when it comes to this film? The best part of the film?
You all know it's coming.
Yeah, we're going to say the same thing.
For me, it's the digestion scene, actually. Well, okay. It's that or cinematography. Because for me, when I say the digestion scene, like, again, for me to say top 10 scariest in a genre that I love so much, that's a big deal for me.
It's a huge-
It's stuck with me so much.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, well, I think one of the best cases of cinematography on our list. So, I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful film.
Yep. I agree. I think the hands down the screaming eating alive shot, there's just no comparison.
Yeah.
But I think I would put cinematography second. Like
Yeah.
the innovation alone that they had to do for this film is
Yeah.
just unmatched. Yeah. I loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
Totes.
Final Rex. Do we recommend this film to everyone or only a select audience? I said definitely a select audience.
Yeah, I would say so.
If you can handle subtle gore and you're down for a little bit of slower burn, this one's for you.
Yeah, go for it.
And if you're an Alien lover
Yeah.
and if you like Jordan Peele.
It's definitely not for, like I mentioned earlier, popcorn audiences. Like if
No.
you want to go see like just a generic, yeah, it's just not for you.
No. Where can I watch this? On Stars, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Hulu Premium.
Nice.
So there you
You
go.
gotta pop up the big bucks for this one.
Yep. Well, that wraps up Chamber of Chills number 20, top horror film of all time. Nope.
Wow.
2022. Thank you guys for listening to our 35th episode. We're finally in our top 20. I can't freaking believe it. And we're going to be in the teens next time.
Our next one's,
Oh, man.
I say it every week.
I
I'm gonna be
know.
done, but our next
Our
one's
next one's great.
Our next one's so good.
Feel free to DM us your hot takes about Nope to us on Instagram at The Chamber of Chills or email us at podcast@thechamberofchills.com. If none of you have hot takes about Nope,
I'm going to
then
suck you up in a vacuum and digest you.
I'm going to hire a chimpanzee to your next birthday party.
We're going to drop a chimpanzee off at your door holding a balloon.
Yes. Okay. And here's the riddle for the next film we're reviewing. I slumber unseen in a place cold and stark. Awakened, I leave a most deadly mark. With no eyes to see, I find where you hide. Through corridors dark, I silently glide. I have no heart, no remorse, no name, yet fear of me spreads a relentless flame. Born of a chest, my birth is grotesque. In the void of space, I am grotesquely picturesque. Who am I?
Oh, fantastic. I'm truly so excited.
And don't forget, share our podcast with your film-loving friends and join in on the action. All right, bye. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for what's next.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
What's a bad miracle?